Hello my friends, let's go straight to the hotspots Bakhmut and Soledar. Russia put reinforcements to that area and it's getting harder for Ukrainian forces to keep the territory under their control. In Bakhmut, Russia moved forward a little bit and they are very close to the residential areas. Actually, they penetrated the perimeter and went through Ukrainian defense lines. You may see that they were able to capture the first street here in the residential area, and I zoomed out a little bit to show you the advancement of the Russian army. So it was yesterday and it is today, before Ukrainian forces were able to throw Russians to drive them away from this residential area. But unfortunately today Russia retook the control over this small territory near to the residential area of the Bakhmut city. And if we move to the north from the Bakhmut city, this is the Pidgorodne village, and Russia advanced there as well, taking the control partially over that village. This is the very important point to protect the Bakhmut, and I think that if Russia take the Pidgorodne village, they may go to the south, taking the part of the Bakhmut under their control, but still they need to penetrate the river over here, which they are not capable to do with the resources they have. And Ukraine obviously has the defense lines on the other part of the shore and will not Russians to do it. So the best case scenario for Russians is to take the eastern side of the city under their control, and the western side is on a high ground, which gives Ukraine some of the advancements in the fire control over the territory. So even though Russians may take the part of the Bakhmut, they will still be under the constant fire of Ukrainian artillery, and the backfire from Russian forces will be less precise compared to Ukrainian army. But still, I'm quite optimistic about Bakhmut, and I think that Ukrainian forces will keep their constant control under the city, unlike in Soledar. I have the bad forecast for the city. As you can see, Russia attacks it from the different directions. The day before yesterday, they tried the massive attack, but Ukraine sent some of the reinforcements to that area from the south and able to withstand that city. But today, Russia also sent their reinforcements to that area, and this hour they try again to reach that city under their control. And the forecast is quite bad, my friends. Probably Ukrainian army would be forced to withdraw from Soledar city, unfortunately, leaving it for the Russian control temporary. And I think that my forecast is real, because in today's address to nation, President Zelensky said that no matter on the outcome of this current situation in Soledar and Bakhmut, Ukraine will retake the territory. No matter on the outcome means that we're probably gonna lose the Soledar. And unfortunately, knowing the advantage of the Russian artillery systems, I know it from the first hand that it's very complicated to keep the Soledar under Ukrainian control. And the decision to reinforce Soledar with extra forces came very late, and now the city is, as you can see, almost surrounded. The only road that goes to Blagodatne is under constant Russian artillery shelling, so there is not much that we can do in that area. And I expect that in 1 or 2 days, Ukrainian army will leave Soledar to avoid heavy losses. Yeah, obviously the Russian propaganda will take it as their great victory, but honestly, my friends, there is no big change if they would take Soledar. Strategic goals are still unreachable for the Russian Federation. This is the satellite image of the Engels airfield that was under attack already 2 times by some sort of the drones. So here you can see the runway, the taxiway, and the parking spots are over there. What we see from this recent satellite image, that Russia moved most part of their airplanes away from Engels, so they do afraid to lose their strategic bombers. So totally just 6 airplanes were left in the base, and mostly they put it on the main taxiway over here. And just look at the distance between those airplanes, so they do afraid to put them close together because of the drone attacks. Plus, if you look at the main apron here and there are some sort of the walls that they installed to protect their airplanes from being shrapnelled by the shells. Those are some sort of the barriers, as you can see over here, but they moved all of their airplanes mostly, and barriers just left on the main apron. On this graph, you can see the oil prices depends on the brand. So the most expensive is the Brent mark. You can see it's nearly $86 per barrel, but this is the Russian oil Urals. You can see the significant drop, and now they sell it for around $36 per barrel. And this dotted green line shows the limit, the maximum limit for the price of the Russian oil that G7 countries and other allies put for the brand Ural. But as you can see, Russia cannot even sell it for that limit. And as you can see, the main trend that the oil prices will continue to reduce, so we expect even lower price for the Russian oil. And the Russian forecast budget for 2023 was built for the oil prices not less than $60 per barrel. Now Russia has the problems with the oil tankers, with insurance companies, and basically that brought their oil prices down. But still, the main push happened in November over here. Then the G7 countries introduced the limit for the Russian oil, and since that time, Russian oil prices continue to decline. The last night, Russia sent new reinforcements to Belarus, and they're getting ready for some sort of the military drills that may start at the middle of the January. And most of the experts say that they need many more forces to start the new attack on Ukraine from the north. On this photo, you can see the designer of the Russian caliber rockets, Pavel Kamnev. Those rockets Russia used against Ukrainian civilian infrastructure, and today this guy lost his life. He was quite old, 86 years old, and I think that he just passed away normally at that age, and I think that he was not responsible for the current caliber production, but he was the main designer. Strangely, but 1 month ago, the main designer of the Russian submarines that were designed to carry the caliber rockets also lost his life, but he wasn't that old compared to this guy. But it doesn't mean that the development of the Russian cruise missiles or submarines will stop immediately. No, they have many more designers, and what may stop the production is the big economical crisis inside the Russian Federation. And as for the oil prices that we see right now, the crisis is imminent. But Russia still has lots of the resources, and they may go on their inertia for many years as Soviet Union did. There was the unique surgery conducted by our professional doctors today in Ukraine. On this X-ray, you can see the Ukrainian soldier who got the VOG grenade stuck into his chest, and it didn't explode, and luckily it was removed by our surgeons. Great news from Sweden. They're getting ready to send the Archer self-propelled artillery systems to Ukraine, and they already prepared the units for us. Awesome. Archers are the best self-propelled artillery systems of that class. Czech Republic will send tanks to Ukrainian army. Those are Soviet-made T-72 tanks, but upgraded version. How many of those tanks would be sent? It's the secret information. Georgia refused to send back to Ukraine the air defense systems book that Ukrainian army sent to protect Georgia back in 2008. From what I see, that Georgian people are supporting Ukraine, and we have many volunteers fighting for Ukraine from the Georgian side. But the parliament and government of Georgia is very strange. We helped them when they needed those systems, but now they refuse to help us with our systems. It's just crazy. Very interesting video. This is the Russian armor vest, probably from the Middle Ages. And here you can see there's the bullet that went inside. It could be the modification of some sort of the vest, but it looks very strange. Czech Republic will also send those engineering vehicles that are used to evacuate the tanks and other armored vehicles from the front lines. Looks absolutely Mad Max, and the name of the track is Striva 30. According to United States intelligence, Wagner Group sent their soldiers and representatives to Serbia. And just 3 days ago, they opened the Russian-Serb Center of Friendship called Orly, which means eagles. And it's happening here in Europe to destabilize the situation, and United States are very concerned about that case. There is the chance that United States will send Stryker armored vehicles to Ukraine. This will be discussed in Ramstein conference that will go on 20th of January. If you chase the information about the weaponry that Ukraine may get this winter, my friends, you will see that there is the big progress for the help to Ukraine. New armored vehicles, Patriot systems, artillery shells, and even tanks from the Czech Republic. So we should expect something defense or offense. I still think that Ukraine will go on a counterattack this winter. For that purpose, we need the high mobility vehicles like this one, or Bradleys or Martyrs. However, during the springtime or late February, I think that Russia may try once again to take the north part of Ukraine, maybe including Kiev, and for that purpose, we need to defend ourselves. We need artillery. Sky News have reported that the United Kingdom may send 10 of the Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine. And also we have the news from Poland that they may send the Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. My friends, we have the zoo in Ukrainian army. I think that we are the most mixed army in a human history. We have armored vehicles from Australia, and we'll have maybe tanks from United Kingdom, tanks from Germany. We have our own Soviet tanks, and it's just crazy. From one side it's good, but from other it's not, because tankists may be trained just for one or maybe even two vehicles. If you have many more like zoo in your army, it's getting terrible for the training of the personnel. But still, my friends, it's awesome that we have the weaponry to protect Ukraine, and mainly we'll see what performs better. Now we have the NASAM systems, RST, so we may have some of the statistics, and basically the developers of the weaponry will sell their items for the better price if they perform well during this war. But Russia also sent us their lend-lease. For example, here are the trophied artillery systems. Awesome. And here the news from Poland, they're getting ready to send 10 tanks to Ukraine. So totally we'll have like 20, 10 from Poland and 10 from UK. Still, that information is not being confirmed, but I'm sure that it will happen. Right, my friends, we have the latest update of the map, and I would say that Ukrainian army will lose Soledar for sure, because here you can see that there is the main vector of the Russian attack. It's already here, it's from the north, it's from the east, and here you simply cannot hold this city for a long time. Yes, there is the supply road still available to the city, but it's not for a long time. And look at the update, my friends. It was yesterday, and today on 10th of January, Russia moved quite a little bit forward, and it's very hard to protect that city, and it's kind of useless losing our forces. It's better to withdraw, to build the new defense lines somewhere here near to Blagodatne, and withdraw from the area. Unfortunately, it's like that. Also, we have some of the movement near to Bilogorivka and near to Kremina. There, Ukrainian army has some sort of that little success. Let's go to the timeline. So here it was yesterday, and it is today. Russian army moved near to Zolotarivka, and Ukrainian army moved near to Dubro. And also we have the situation clarification near to Svatova. Here the gray area became narrow. Somewhere Ukrainian army took the land, and somewhere the Russian army. Also in the south from Bakhmut there is the Andriivka and Klishivka, and the Russian army advanced over here. That brings the threat for Klishivka village that is still under Ukrainian control. My friends, if you want to support this channel, just press the like button. If you wish to support me financially, there are some of the links in the video description below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal or Donatella, wherever is more convenient for you. Thank you so much for your help, and I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.